Mute. So welcome, welcome, welcome. We're talking today about the 5 soul languages and how you can benefit from actually listening in and tuning in and knowing exactly what's happening in your environment. Today we're talking about knowing and we're talking about receiving. So part 1 of 5 soul languages was thinking and feeling. And we showed you the difference of like, okay, now I'm thinking, that's what it feels like when I'm thinking, to feeling. So what we're doing today is we're taking that a step further and we're going into this feeling of knowing. I just knew. I just knew. You will say things like, I just knew that was going to happen. Or you'll hear someone else saying that and you're like, well, what does that mean? How can I just know that that was going to happen? So knowing is your soul. She tells you you've got it. And it'll be a sensation in your body that allows you to know that that's your knowing. Okay, so this will come through from your soul in signs. So when you have your knowing land, it will come through for you it could be signs, exterior signs, like could be numbers, number plates, animals doing weird things around you, keep seeing the same thing, hearing things twice. That is the beginning of your knowing. It's like, oh, I'm receiving a message. Oh, somebody's there for me. Like my soul's there for me. She's trying to get through to me. So signs, sensations, there's a deep knowing that you've overlooked so often. It's like, oh gosh, I wish I'd remembered to take my keys. I now remember looking at them just before I left the house. Or you'll know something and think, oh yeah, I knew it. I knew it, but I didn't do it. So you've overlooked it so often. So you've probably got a knowing sign, but then self-doubt came in and went, I'm not going to do that. That's not important. But this is your knowing. And I'm going to talk to you today more about your knowing. This is when you know your own language from your soul. You know that, oh, that's how it came in last time. Oh, that's it. So this can be something similar to your yes and no. So most of us, when we start playing with understanding our soul language or getting soul guidance, we like, oh, right, okay, that's my yes. Right, okay, that's my no. We start using that. And when I'm training people into knowing their soul language, how do you get into that? By first of all, you have to know what your sacred, your absolutely sign for yes is. So you always are coming back to that's your foundational piece. And if you just have to ask yes and no questions for a while and then you get messages, then you come back to this, that's how your soul is coming through to you. What is your yes? What is your definitive direction for yes? Mine is leaning back. Other people have it as leaning forward. And then the opposite is true for my no. My no is like leaning forward and other people have it going to the side. But you'll also have a sensation on the inside. You'll have like, and most people will have a similar sort of sensation. So opening up for a yes, closing down for a no. But there is so much more to your soul language that you definitely haven't allowed to understand. One of the main things that it took me a little while to understand. So one of the main things that took me a little bit of time to understand and what was actually going on was when I was just feeling really an annoying jumble, chaotic. I couldn't concentrate. I was like feeling off for a very long time because I wasn't allowing the information to come in. I was like so much in a jumble about, oh my God, I've just got to clear my head. I've got to get on with this. I've got to go through my list of things to do. But I wasn't understanding that something was trying to get through to me. So I was thrown off. I was just like, nothing's working today. But this is now one of my ways that my soul contacts me. So everybody has their own particular way of understanding their soul language. Eventually I understood, that is something coming through to me. I need to slow down. I need to start to listen. I need to start to ask the right questions because my soul is trying to contact me. She's trying to guide me, put me in the right direction. And that's what I want for you. With that, and along with that, there is absolutely no need to force anything. When something's coming through, it's like, oh, okay, let's not force anything. All right. Just be ready. What I also know now is one of my soul languages, there's a hum, there's a vibration. It's like, oh, something's coming. And it could be like, oh, something's coming. It's like it's an you can feel nervous, you can feel excited. Those two energies are very, very similar and very, very close together with me. But something tells me that the human gets very nervous. So I have to let go of the doing, I have to let go of the action, and I have to let go of the push. Knowing there is a surrender to the message. There's no panic, there's no explanation. It is just a knowing. If you have, or if you want to know more of your soul language, this is what I'm here to share with you. I've got courses and I've got books to help you understand, that's how my language comes through. That's my intuition. So one of the ways that soul has spoken to me, and this way she did actually speak, I was asking a question and then I got my knowing and I was like, oh my God, yeah, that's absolutely it. It was a feeling, it was a sensation. I was like, why, of course. So I was asking in 2000, okay, what now? Things are not working out for me. I'm kind of bored. Things have been going the same for quite a long time. What now? And I got my head out of the way. I stopped thinking, I stopped worrying, got everything out of the way, surrendered to it all, and I heard, write your book, write your book, write your book. Okay, now it knowingly landed. But what had been happening before that was that I had incredible hip ache, incredible. I could hardly walk around the block. I felt like I was 100 years old, could hardly move. That was my message. And when I did what I was asked to do, the hip pain went. It went within 2 days. So when your language of your soul is coming through and it's her knowing, she's sending you guidance, you begin to get the knowing. So this is your language. You're beginning to know what your language is. For me, I had aches and pains. You've got to get rid of that. You've got to change your story, but you've got to feel, you've got to also not just change the story in your words. So like, oh yeah, this is working out really, really well for me. But if what's going on behind is really sticky and like, well, this is never going to work, you have to know what the thoughts are behind the thoughts. And this is where we need to sort of really start to unravel what's going on for you. The next bit is you need to know how you're feeling, because if you're feeling something and you're ignoring it, it's the feeling that's going to tell you what's going to manifest next. It's the feeling, it's the feeling, it's the feeling. So I'm really always grateful to do this because this is one of my favorite things to do. And this is what I call practical magic. It's when you receive guidance. It's when you receive downloads. It's when you receive the most valuable information that you could possibly ever receive in your whole damn life. Cheers to the water. Okay, so when you are receiving and you know that you've received something in the past, but you actually have the knowing of it, think back to when you received a message and where do those messages best come through? If you're ready and you want to receive more, you have to be able to slow down. But you've made a decision that has absolutely no logical sense to it at all because you just knew. So writing a book for me wasn't necessarily my logical next step, but I knew it when I got the information, when it landed. I knew that was what was needed. That was what my guidance was telling me, like, that is what needs to happen next. This is the same for like selling a house or buying a house or knowing that this car is right for me or knowing this person is right for me. There is a knowing. So just think into and feel into, where is that knowing within your body? How do you feel that? If I could describe it, all of this soul information, the knowing, the receiving, the feeling of the information coming in, for me, it's practical magic. I know that I'm being signaled. I know that there's something out there. My soul is orchestrating things for me, and she will do anything. She will move mountains so that I get the message. She will send me all sorts of messages to say you're on the right track. Now, we talked about knowing, we've talked about how that lands in the body, and you heard my little story about you get that knowing message that comes through. And I heard it vocally, write your book, write your book, write your book. But sometimes things come through in images. So I want to talk to you about the third way, fourth way. So we've got thinking, we've got feeling, we've got knowing. And now we're going to talk about receiving. So it's another state that is very, very quiet. When you're receiving, you are stepping out of the way. You've got no lifetime worries going on, no endless thoughts going on in your head of thinking and thinking and thinking, because nothing can get into you when you're in your thinking mode. You're just overthinking everything, and you're not allowing yourself to receive the information. It's like it will come, you will feel it on the inside, you will get the knowing, but it's like receiving feels different to knowing. It is graceful. It is arriving perfectly. That's why I call it practical magic. It is peaceful even. You will feel it. It's like, oh, I'm receiving. Sometimes I get a little bit excited when I get signs or when I see things that are being presented to me. I'm like, oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much for sending me that information. This is how it lands in my body so that I am receiving it. Oftentimes when I'm giving a reading to someone, or I am talking to someone and I'm allowing myself to sort of step out of the way a little bit and information starts coming through, the feeling is like I'm in the conduit. I'm receiving information. There's so much information to be downloaded here when you are allowing yourself to be in the conduit. It lands when you least expect it. Now, you can be out for a walk, you can be sweeping the garden. The solution arrives because you are open and you've stopped getting in the way of it. So your mind has become soft and you're more absorbing. This is why it helps so much to be out in the garden, going for a walk, stepping out of the way. When I sold my house in 2015 now, no, before that, 2012, I had to be in a state of receiving. I was talking to the house. I'm saying, please, house, show me what I need to do for you to leave you prettier than I found you. What needs to happen? What energy needs to change? How do I need to change? What do you want me to do for you? She showed me, paint the shutters, got that done. Sort the gate out, sorted the gate out. Take the carpet off the stairs, paint the stairs, did that too. And I was like, now what? And I just had to wait. I had to get into receiving mode so I could hear what she was saying. So what happened next was, so when I was selling my house, so I was putting it out there, wanted to sell my house. I'd been talking to my house and I'd been asking, and she'd shown me, paint the shutters, paint the gate, change the stairs, paint the stairs, make everything prettier than it was before. I had to surrender to all of that and then allow more information to come through for me. So I was in receiving mode. I was out doing the garden. I was not, forcing things through, out doing the garden, sweeping the driveway, and I got an image. Just out of the blue, I was like, oh, there it is. That's the answer. I'm receiving the answer right now. And it was a sign that I was shown as a white sign, quite a large white sign, and a stake. And I went, all right, okay, maybe they've got some wood in the garage. And then I saw there was AV, à vendre, for sale, and then my telephone number. And that was all. That's all that was there. That's all I was to put on the board. And I was to put the board outside my front gate. And I laughed and laughed. And I said, no one even drives up this road. How on earth is that going to work? But I thought, okay, fine. I've got the message. This is what I'll do. I'll go and do it. Painted the sign, did the stencil, hammered it in girly style outside in the garden. 3 days later, I was out sweeping the driveway again, and somebody rang my phone. They said, oh, we've just seen your sign. We'd like to come look at your house. They came, they looked at the house. They walked around 3 times. They then made me an offer. I sold the house in 3 days because I listened to my divine guidance. Something it is given. It is never forced. It is never scheduled. It is never planned. It is given. It is the soul responding to you loud and clear. And that is what I want to show you, how you can do that for yourself, because everyone can do that. And it's not just me. It's not just somebody special. Everyone. Now, this is when your human allows yourself not to be in control. This is when you slow down and you surrender and you let matters happen. And sometimes you might feel that there's an awful lot of waiting in this particular stage, but this is you in receiving mode. You have to be in a match. You have to be receiving so that you can match the energy that's going to come in. So I'm going to ask you this. For today's particular topic, when we're talking about the 5 languages of the soul, where do you receive your messages the best? So for the 5 languages of the soul, I've got a question for you. Where do you receive your messages the best? Is it in the shower? Where does your mind just stop thinking and worrying? Is it when you're cooking? Sometimes it's when I'm chopping and chopping. I'm in the corner of the kitchen and someone says, "Why are you cooking now?" I'm like, "I'm not. I'm getting my mind out of the way." Walking. But it has to be something more than just gentle walking, because sometimes your mind can still go over and over and over and over and over all the things and all the worries that are going on in your life. Gardening. Let yourself talk to the plants. Let yourself just be in the garden and really enjoy being in the garden. Where does your mind get out of the way? Where do your best ideas arrive? Driving. Driving for me is a brilliant place to talk to my soul. Brilliant. She's endlessly talking to me and chatting back to me. It's never when you're in the worry. So answer that question for yourself. Now, I help you know what your soul language is. So if you've got aches and pains, if you've got financial hiccups, if you've got relationship conflicts, this could all be a message from your soul. More than likely, probably, you're probably in some sort of earth issue right now that you've got absolutely no idea how you can get out of. So I let you know what is soul language. We are going to read into that. We're going to understand how that works. We are going to help you to manifest your goals, whatever goals it is that you want. How do you want to change your life? How do I need to change to get that into my life? How do I need to rewire my brain? How do I need to look beyond the thoughts that I'm having? Look beyond the feelings that I'm having behind the thoughts, because the world responds to your frequency. This is how it's so different to respond and how different to operate in this particular lifetime right now. The world responds to you. So this is you living in 5D. This is you living as one that's transcended all your earth issues, and you're entwined with spirit. I'm not going to do anything woo-woo. It's just, this is true. This is absolutely how it's true. You're in the right frequency. Things are working out well for you. Your spirit is talking to you. So if you want to manifest your goals, if you want to rewire your mind, if you want to slow down so that you are getting divine guidance, soul divine guidance, the same way as I have and 100 other people that I work with, like they are starting to get divine guidance. They're channeling information through. This is what needs to happen. You are operating with soul guidance. We need to break through the earth issue. So I'm offering you a time, like 20 minutes, like come on a call and understand how is your soul talking to you, because within that, I will be able to feel what's going on with you. I'll be able to understand what's going on in the background so that we can actually decipher all of that and let all of that go. No more mental worries, no more emotional habits and triggers that are just getting your knickers in a twist. You know, don't you? You know that you deserve more. You know that there's more waiting for you, that there's more when you can manifest your goals. You can say, oh, this is something I've been wanting for such a long time, but who gets to do that? You are the one, you're the only one who gets to change. Change your frequency, change the way you're thinking, rewire your mind, slow down so that you can get the divine guidance that's already there, waiting to speak to you, but you've just overlooked it. So today we've been talking about the knowing feeling and also the receiving state that you need to be in so that something can come through. So we need to be able to look at the frequency, how you're feeling and how you're thinking about what you're putting out into the world. Because if you're saying, yeah, everything's fine, everything's working out really well, but in your mind it's like, nope, this is not working for me. I do not like this way of living at all. Then that is what you are going to get back. So help me help you manifest. If you've got any questions, if you want to come on a call, if you want to understand what are the thoughts and what it is that we can feel behind the thoughts and things that you're feeling, if you've got earth issues that you just can't scrape past, they're just still in your way, then this is where your soul guidance would absolutely be perfect for you to help you understand what's going on. Now, the soul can speak to you in number plates, 222, 777s. It can talk to you in birds. It can talk to you in feelings. It can talk to you in words. You know, all the clairescences, that. But if you want to manifest something and use your soul guidance, it means that somewhere inside you are going to need to adjust. You're going to need to change your state. So that's what I'm an absolute genius at, helping you change your state. Not just the story in your head, though that is very, very vital, but how do you feel this differently? And I will be able to gauge, oh, you're in your head, you're not feeling it. It's funny, I feel this little knot in the stomach here. What's that about? We feel into what you're feeling so that we can help you understand what's really going on. So the next session, third session of the 5 soul languages, will be next Thursday, probably a little bit later. We're going to be talking about responding. How is your soul responding to what you're responding to? How are you asking for response, even? The questions that you ask. And what we're going to do is then bring it all together, and we're going to be showing you soul to soul communication. So if you're in so soul to soul communication is the end result of the 5 soul languages, meaning that you are in communication with someone else's soul. You are speaking to their soul when you're negotiating with them. You're speaking to their soul when you are trying to get a different outcome. This is the same as manifesting. So you can also talk to the consciousness of money. You can also talk to the consciousness of your business, the spirit within your business. This is soul to soul communication. This is where magic comes in, and you will not believe what can actually happen when you allow yourself to start operating with this practical magic. Manifesting your goals, rewiring your mind, slowing down so that you can receive and understand and be aware of your knowing, and that is your soul guidance to you. If you have any questions, please let me know, and look out for the link below so that you can actually come and talk to me. We can do a soul-to-soul communication with you right now. We can help you break through something, and you can also see how manifesting your business or your life is going to change everything around for you. So thank you very much for being here. My name is Fiona Robertson. I'm a channel, I'm an author, and I'm a speaker all about divine guidance and manifesting your goals.